Imagine what would you do if you were to take like the absolute best care of yourself. Imagine you were, what would you like to do to your friend who was in a difficult situation? Like, do the absolute best, like ask for the whole day, take care of your errands, do something else, have some rest, have some me time, do the absolute maximum you can do for yourself. Takes a lot of bravery, because a lot of us are,
yes.
used to people pleasing. We're used to lowering our boundaries. We're used to trying to be comfortable to other people. But
Yes.
and sometimes it can be really hard to ask for these big things, but maybe start with small things then. Like, what are the things today that I can do that would take the absolute best care of myself?
Welcome to another episode of Making Waves, where we shine a light on the incredible journeys of those who are visiting us, and of those who are making a real life difference in their own lives and also in lives of others. So that's why Making Waves. And I'm Anna, and I'm your host, ready to guide you through that another inspiring, amazing story of resilience, transformation, and empowerment. I would like to introduce Paula, who is amazing coach for neurodivergent women navigating the complexity of burnout. Very important topic. And Paula's journey through a cycle of burnout to a place of inner peace and fulfillment is nothing short of inspiring. As a neurodivergent individual, she is a testament to living a full life free from shadows and overwhelm. And blending her rich background in psychology, yoga, and 18 years of mindfulness practice, Paula has crafted a unique system that addressed and prevents very crucial burnout. So her approach combines science-backed methods with mindfulness tools, offering a holistic path to well-being, and has already transformed many lives. So, Paula, it's absolutely honored to have you with us on Making Waves. And your story and work is just like compelling. It's absolutely amazing to see what you're doing and how you're approaching your client. And we're going to talk about burnout. And I think there is not enough conversation about that topic. So I'm so excited to hear your story. And before we're gonna go to your story, I would like to welcome you and maybe ask you to tell our audience what the neurodivergent actually means.
Hi. So first of all, hello everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited. And thank you, Anna, for inviting me, for making such a beautiful introduction. So yes, it's a very good idea to talk about neurodivergence first, so that everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yes.
So neurodivergence is an umbrella term. And under that umbrella, there are a few different conditions. So there is autism, there is ADHD, there is dyslexia, dyspraxia, epilepsy, OCD, Tourette's. There's quite a few things. Some people even include highly sensitive people under the umbrella of neurodivergence. So all in all, it's actually quite substantial amount of people, and there is also important to say there is a big overlap. Like, a lot of people with autism also have dyslexia. A lot of people with ADHD also are highly sensitive. A lot of highly sensitive people, it's a lot of overlap. And it's also very important to understand that there is, if we include highly sensitive people, it's probably even up to 20 or 30% of the population who are neurodivergent. So
that's a lot. That's a big number.
That is a big number. And that's just, because some people who aren't really aware of this, haven't seen it in their lives, they sometimes might think that, you know, oh, like neurodiversity, neurodivergence, or like, I don't know, autistic people is just like that one weird kid I had as a classmate in middle school. No, actually, you have neurodivergent people as your colleagues, as your neighbors, as your friends, as your relatives. They are everywhere. You might not even notice or know. They might not want to tell everyone about their neurodivergence, or they might not even know themselves, but there is a lot of us, and we are everywhere. And now a lot of you might be listening to this and thinking, okay, so how do I know? How do I recognize that? So of course, you might go to to Google, to Wikipedia, and read like the signs or the symptoms of certain disorders, which might not make a lot of sense to people because it's a medical language. So I'd like to read out an alternative list of traits for neurodivergent people that is more relatable, that is more like human language. So here we go. Some common signs of neurodivergence. You are often told you are too sensitive and are bothered by smells, bright lights, certain sounds or textures, etc. You might be easily distracted. You might be having hundreds of ideas a minute. You have rich inner world and are a deep thinker. You have good pattern recognition and complex problem solving. You might have enhanced creativity and unique perspectives. You have nonlinear thinking and divergent ideas. You might see things at multiple levels at the same time. You might have heightened empathy and emotional intensity. You might be very honest or naive. You could be hyper-systemizing and having order in chaos. You might have verbal eloquence and unique communication styles. You might practice behavior or speech in advance of a situation. You might be detail-oriented and have a meticulous observation skills. You might be feeling like you're from a different planet. You might have unexplained fatigue. You need a lot of alone time. So this is not a complete list. There's many others. It's just some examples to give people an idea. And yeah, so this is how neurodivergence looks like. And some people even see like it's not necessarily a disorder, it's just a different way of thinking, a different way of experiencing the world.
Yeah.
So I hope that is a good explanation of what it is.
Okay, so thank you so much for that very thorough list. And I think that people who are watching us and listening, they might find some of the characteristics there. And when you said it about being sensitive to light and highly sensitive person, so I'm the one. So definitely I'm finding myself also on that list, and some things definitely resonates with me. So thank you for explaining, and I would like to go back to what we said to hear your story, because I'm really curious. How did you end up in that space and doing what you're doing, and what was it any turning point, any particular situation that actually reshape your journey and redirected you to the place that you're right now?
Okay, so there's a few questions here. So I guess first I will answer about my own story of burnout, and then if I forget, you can maybe repeat the other questions.
Absolutely.
So okay, so my own story is that to be honest, I was burning out probably since I was a teenager, repeatedly, you know. I would burn out, I would rest, I would recover somewhat, and then I would burn out again. And I was going through these cycles. I didn't realize it was burnout. And I think I just thought that like this is life. This is what people do, you know. You get tired and we rest, and we get tired and we rest. And it wasn't until I think I was maybe 27 or something like that, when I realized, you know what, I don't care if everyone is living life this way. Like, I don't want to live life this way. I'm going to look for solutions. I have no idea what they are or how, or I didn't even, I think at one level, I didn't even consider if it's possible or not. Like, I didn't even know, but I thought, like, I'm gonna look for solutions and I will find it. And that was one of the bigger turning points where I just decided that this is not okay. I'm not up for this. I don't care if everyone is doing it. I'm not.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, because it seems like that was exhaustion, and so you tried it to rationalize that, okay, this is life, that's how it is. But then you said, like, okay, enough. I don't care about how
yeah,
other people are doing it, but I'm not going to continue
yeah,
this way. I need a different solution.
absolutely. So I tried to change some circumstances. I changed careers. I tried to take better care of myself, and it was a bit better, but I was still burning out. And at one point, completely like randomly, I realized that I might be autistic. And then I went for a diagnosis, and it was confirmed that I was autistic. And this was another turning point. This was when I understood, okay, what I've been experiencing is not normal. It's not what everyone's experiencing. It wasn't just like getting tired and resting, what all the people were telling me. No, it was actually burnout. It was autistic burnout. And it was recovery again and again. And then I realized, okay, so part of the reason why I'm burning out was because I didn't know I was autistic, and I didn't realize I have these needs or these sensitivities that I need to take care of. So that was just one layer of burnout. I often talk about different layers of burnout. So that was one layer, and other layers were as well, like taking good care of myself, understanding how to draw boundaries, getting to know my energy cycles, so many other things. So I was, since I was 27, I was trying to find a solution, and I was like, every time I would burn out, I would just like uncover a different layer and uncover a different way to be kind to myself and to get better. Um, and yeah, so yeah, one of those very important steps was understanding I was autistic, and I need like a different type of self-care. It's just like what other people do just will not work for me. The way I function is different.
And it must have been, I'm sorry that, because like when I'm listening to it, it sounds exhausting, just like going through the one burnout after another. And what I would like to really emphasize here, like your resilience, that you just really were not only bouncing back, but bouncing forward. So you were just like, okay, as you said, another layer, let me go back, and then let's learn something new, and another layer, and then you were just going. That requires a lot of resilience. So
yeah.
this is absolutely amazing.
Thank you. And looking back, it sounds like it's a lot, but at that time it was possible because every time I thought, okay, now I solved it, Every time I found, like the first time I was 27, I realized, okay, I don't want to live like this. I changed like a couple of things, and I thought, okay, this is it. Like, I'm gonna live a nice life now. If someone came and told me, oh, you know what, you're gonna have another 6 years of this until you figure it out, I would probably have, don't want to, don't want to upset anyone. Hopefully, it's. I really wish that and hope that it's not the case for anyone, that people find a solution and healing quicker. But for me, this was the case. And if I had known, I probably wouldn't have been so resilient. But every time I found a layer, I thought, oh, okay, so I didn't know that. Now I know. Now I'll be fine. And and going through this. Yeah, it took me 5 or 6 years in total to go through all the layers and uncover all the because burnout has many different reasons, has many different root causes, right? And for some people, it might just be one cause, they solve it and they get better. And I really hope and wish that for most people it's like that, It's just for me, it was I got extra lucky.
So you had you want the accumulation of
Yes.
of layers.
Yes,
but.
I
because
think
of that, you were able to do what you do right now, right? And
exactly.
now it
So
makes sense when you said about the layers of burnout. Now I
yeah.
know where it's coming from.
Exactly. So on one hand, like I am happy it happened to me and I was able to go for it because that means I've learned about all these different
Hmm.
layers and I can teach other people and I can help other people so they don't have to go through all that. So they can have like a complete solution in one piece. You know, I sometimes like to compare it to IKEA furniture. You know, it's like how
Okay.
how you how you get the IKEA furniture. You know, you get like all these different pieces of wood and screws, and you need to borrow a hammer from somebody. And then you know you look at instruction manual and you can put it all together. But with burnout, a lot of people don't have an instruction manual. So what they do, they hear that, oh, I need screws, so they go buy screws, and then they buy pieces of wood, and then they borrow a hammer, and then somebody tells them, oh, I would never have built a chest of drawers without a screwdriver. So they buy that as well. And then they look at all these items and then they think, how is this not a chest of drawers already? Well,
Yeah.
it's not because you don't have an instruction manual, you don't have a plan, and quite often you even have too many tools, which is confusing you. When you have too many items,
Hmm.
it's confusing, it's frustrating, and you know you think you've done so much, you have so much, and it's not working. It's because you do not have the plan, you do not have the instruction manual. So
Hmm.
I have it, you know, because I've been through it myself. I tried all the different bits and all the different, and even I have to say, even I have a psychology degree. I have a background in mindfulness. With all these different things that I had, it still took me so long. I still could not
Hmm.
find a solution. So of course, any person who even doesn't have those, it's really hard. It's really frustrating. So um, one one thing I would advise is get help. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter what it is. Excuse me. It could it could be a counselor, it could be a therapist, it could be a friend, it could be, you know, but it could be a coach. But you know, we all have our blind spots even when we are well. But when we are not well, it's so much harder to have that clarity and to have
Hmm.
that plan and to understand how it all comes together. So this is the, I think, the key advice I would have to
Hmm.
anyone to just you know talk to someone. And doesn't even have to be, you don't have to do like a you know a big series or a package of programs. You can just, you know, you can just have one conversation. Even that helps. Like some people just
Hmm.
talk to me one time and you know they would decide not to go with my program, and that's okay. But then you know a few months later they write to me and they say thank you so much for that one consultation, because it's just changed you know, changed my direction
Absolutely.
and helped me arrive where I need to. So
Hmm.
yeah.
And I really love what you're saying about asking for help. And I think that it's especially for people who are struggling, who are just like experiencing burnout. They are very confused because they don't know what's going on,
Mm,
and they don't have that manual in front of them.
mm,
They don't know where to look. And on top of it, there is not much of the conversation and the public space about burnout. Mm, and I think that comes with, and I'm talking from also my own experience, shame,
mm.
right? That it happened to
Oh
me. So what
yes.
did I do wrong? So am I
Oh
weak? And
yes.
all those questions. So
Yeah.
there is a shame.
Yeah, it's not your
And
fault. It's
yes,
not your fault.
and then it's isolation because you don't want to, as you said, like people don't
Mm,
want to talk about it. So I'm just like isolating myself from the world. I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm going to deal with it on my own. And I think that this is the biggest mistake that can be done, because as you said, even one conversation, sharing with someone that that's what is happening to me, might be a game changer, might be that moment that it's like, oh, okay, I said it, now I can move on, now I can do something about it, I made it real. Yes.
mm,
So I'm curious if you had that aha moment, when did you ask for help during
mm.
your burnout journey?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I did when I was in one of the darkest moments. I was burnt out, but also like so many other things were happening, you know. I lost some family members. It was a lockdown. I had some other health issues, and actually, quite often, neurodivergent people. I love how the sun is coming just
Yes.
for that moment.
It's really
Uh,
look, it's writing the story.
Yeah. So quite often neurodivergent conditions don't come alone, they come with other things. So quite often neurodivergent people also have fibromyalgia, PCOS, endometriosis, gut issues, so many other things. And I was also blessed with a few of those. And of course, when I was stressed, I was burnout. It was flaring up even more than usual, and I had to deal with so much. And you know, having background in psychology, having mindfulness background as well for many years, so I knew I needed help. I knew I needed to get something, and thankfully, I was working at a company that had some psychology help, available as part of the benefits. So I talked to them. They referred me to a therapy. I found a therapist that was specifying with autistic people. So for me, just knowing that I'm doing something kind of helped me that, okay, I'm doing something for myself. I am doing something to help. And actually, that therapy was not helpful at all.
Oh, okay.
And this is what I hear a lot talking with neurodivergent people, that therapy did not help them, or help them a little bit, but doesn't really offer complete solution, because therapy can help with some layers of burnout, but not with others. So depending where you are, it might help you a little bit, it might help you a lot, or it might not help you at all. So if it doesn't help you, don't feel bad, like you're not alone. Nothing is wrong with you. It's just like your causes, your burnout is at different layers than therapy works with. So it did not work for me at all. But at that point, summer came, and some things got better. I got my final confirmation of diagnosis, which helped me a lot. And this is again another note I want to make to some people. You do not need to hinge validation of what you're feeling on diagnosis.
Well said. Yes, thank you for bringing that.
If for me it was important because I was super frustrated and confused, and I did not know what was happening to me. So at that point, it validated my feelings, it validated my condition, it validated my experience. And if this is what you need, if this is what's helpful for you, absolutely, you can go for it. But I know diagnosis is not easily accessible for a lot of people. So what I want to say, like, if you feel tired, if you feel triggered, if the lights are too bright, if you're feeling that, you're feeling that. That is your experience. You do not need anyone to come and confirm that it's okay for you to feel that way. Like, I'm telling you it's okay to feel for you.
Absolutely.
That way, If you need someone to tell you, I'll tell you. It's okay. Whatever you're feeling, it's okay. You are allowed to feel that.
Absolutely, and I'm with you. I can only echo that, because that's quite often we want to have that label to it. We just want to say, okay, yes, that's okay to feel that, and if we feel it, we feel it, and that's, as you said, that's it. If I'm have a sensitivity to light, I need to just take care of myself and making sure that I don't expose myself to that. So, for example, for me, going to the disco or like some kind of big party where the lasers are, it's just impossible, because I'm just immediately feeling like I'm completely wasted or completely drunk. And I'm losing my balance. So I just simply know, and I'm not going to expose myself to go for sake of just going. So I know it does not serve me. The reason for that, I don't know. That's what is happening. And I really love what you said. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. You don't need any validation.
Yes, exactly. So even though at that time that therapy did not help, but it helped me to know that I'm doing something and I'm getting help, and just gave me a bit of hope. And a bit later, the diagnosis, a few other things happened. It helped me to figure out some other layers, and I got better. And at that point, I think that's when I got a coach, a spiritual coach, to do with other things, but it was just more for myself, for fun, to do a program about mindfulness, about totem animals, like completely unrelated to burnout, but doing something like that, investing in myself, really was, again, one of the turning points. Even though at that point I wasn't really burnt out, but it really helped me with prevention and keeping my wellness, to know that, okay, I'm investing in myself because I deserve it. I deserve wellness. I deserve self-care. I deserve to have some fun. I deserve to have something that's nice to me, that I enjoy. And doing that program, it just really helped me to connect with myself more, to have more joy and more freedom in my life, have more ease in my life. And it was nothing to do with burnout, but it was just like more like a preventative measure. And again, it just was a really good step to preventing and to also to complete wellness.
Yeah, and I really like it was what you said about I did it for fun, for myself, right? So it seems like the starting to put yourself as a priority.
Exactly.
It is the crucial point of the, as you said, prevention and doing things for fun. Enjoy the process, because quite often we are so focused on the end goal of the end result that we really don't have fun in the process, and we are taking things seriously. So bringing that joy, bringing that fun, doing something that, again, might not make sense for other people, but makes sense for you and bring you the joy, go for it and do it. I think that it's like that also with when I work with my clients, we call it like joy basket. So just like you put everything what makes you happy, and whenever you need it, you just take it out. So fill in that basket with all those things that make you just smile, make you feel good, bring you joy, make fun. So whatever is this, and then it's like realizing already what makes you happy. It's a great thing, because then you can do more of, and that also is one of the aspects of preventing burnout. But I really want to I want to go back to that point. So what was that point that you decided, okay, I want to help people like me to that they don't have to go through that resilient phase and just like going through all the layers. I can give them this manual so they can build their IKEA stuff. What was it? When was it? Was it one thing, or maybe there was a sequence of events?
It was a sequence of events. So after my last burnout, a few years have passed, and I realized, like, I am living a great life. Everything is well. I mean, never everything is perfect. Of course, we all have life stuff. I was moving countries. I was, changing jobs again, and there was like things happening. But I realized, like, oh my God, it's been a few years that I haven't been in burnout. Before that, I was constantly in burnout. I would have maybe most 3-6 months between, at most.
Oh wow.
I don't even think if 6 months was possible. Don't actually remember. But yeah, at one point I realized it's been a few years and I'm well and I'm thriving, and I haven't felt that way for a long time. And I started thinking about it, reflecting that actually, yeah, there was a lot of layers I went through, and I'm keeping all of them. I'm keeping all that basket of tools with me. I am keeping, together with myself. And I was at that point, like, I actually changed careers a few times, during the whole thing, thinking that it would help me, and it didn't. It wasn't about careers. It was about other things. So I was in an unrelated career at that time. I was in IT. I was programming, which was good fun for me. I enjoyed it. But I started thinking that actually, I have a degree in psychology. I have a background in mindfulness. I've been doing this for a long time. And I started feeling like, you know what, I want to help people, and also not just me. Actually, before I started thinking that, other people were saying that, like, you've been through a lot, you learn so much, you help others so much. And I always was doing like this as a hobby. a bit more, a bit less, sometimes more as work, sometimes more as hobby for many years, right? So it's always been like some sort of mindfulness, spirituality, psychology, counseling was always like part of my life to bigger or smaller extent. And people were telling me that, you know, I should do it more, I should do it full time, I should really help people. Yeah, after a while, like I started to agree with them, you know. After hearing it for a long time, I thought, you know what, maybe I should start looking into that. Maybe I should start doing something little by little. And yeah, when I started thinking what exactly I could do, what could be the way, the form, the mode of helping, of working with people, this idea came to me, you know, burnout. It's it really makes sense for me because, you know, I have this like three sides, like that triangle behind you. There is the background in psychology, all the scientific knowledge I have. There is a background in mindfulness and all the experience I have on that side. Like I have also certificates in like breath work and theta healing and NLP, a few other things that I've been doing. And I also have a third thing is my own experience. Is my own lived experience of burnout as an autistic person. I probably have ADHD as well. I identify that I do. So yeah, so having all these three sides is when I realized, okay, this I can really make it work because I have this three sides which I can combine into a one system, and I can help people like me to get through it.
Yeah, I think I really love it, like how you were just really describing those three aspects, and I think that comes together that you can have a holistic approach, right? Because you can use different tools to write the manuals for your clients. And how do you work with your clients? So how, because you were saying something about programs, so can you tell us a little bit more how, how you work as a coach?
Yes. So at this point, I have a program, burnout recovery program. It's a long, extensive program. It's even though people take different amounts of time depending on their pace, but on average it's 4 or 5 months that it takes people to go through that program. They experience really deep healing on all the layers. And really my intention for this program is not just that you heal and feel better, is that you have a really good understanding of your wellness. You have a good understanding of your burnout and all the layers of it, so that you know, when you finish the program, you don't have to experience it ever again. Of course, burnout is not always preventable. Sometimes, you know, things happen and we might still burn out, but you will have a very good understanding of how that happened, how you can help yourself, how to minimize the effect, and how to come out of it with a, you know, in the fastest, smoothest, best way for yourself. So this is really my intention for the program, is that deep healing on all layers, and really having a good understanding and wellness for life. Of course, it's always good to come back sometimes to people and get more help and get more coaching or counseling, etc. But my intention is really for people to have this transformational healing journey.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. And because you do that work, right, with people, and I wanted to bring you to that little bit a bigger picture and ask you what is the change or the impact you hope to have with your work. And how does this vision drive your daily actions and decisions?
Yes. So my bigger picture is neurodivergent wellness. That people who are neurodivergent would be well and happy and thriving. I have to say here that a lot of people who are neurodivergent, they sometimes don't even believe that it's possible for them. And I can understand where it comes from, because, you know, if you're autistic, it's not curable. You're gonna be autistic for the rest of your life. If you have other like health conditions together with it, like a lot of them are not curable. If you have also, like, I don't know, for example, PTSD and you know, OCD, etc., some other things, you know, it's also something that kind of always is with you. If you're also a parent, if you're also you know, have like a toxic work environment, and there's a lot of things that neurodivergent people face that they, you know, objectively looking, like you cannot change them, like and it's logical to think that, okay, if this is just the circumstances that I have and I cannot change them, I cannot get better. And I can understand that thinking, it's logical, but I want to say that you can create more wellness, more ease in your life, even in the circumstances that you have. I am talking from my own experience, because I've been there, and from the experience of my clients who I've now helped to get through some of these experiences, right? So my bigger mission is really to firstly to inspire people that it is possible by my own example, by examples of my clients, and to help them get there, to give them that inspiration and impulse. That's the most important. And maybe some of them will see that inspiration and then find their own ways to get there. And some of them will come to me and use my program to get there. And you know, that's okay. So the things I do every day is really, you know, I have a blog, I have a, you know, Instagram, and you know, so like everyone, like many coaches, I have a lot of things out there that you can use for free. And I really hope that this is going to be like an inspiration for people, and maybe like some help as well to get there if they want to get there on their own. And then of course some people will come to me and use my program. So, you know, that's of course I cannot help everyone in the world, but I can help some amount of people. But then, you know, others who cannot get on my program, they can still use a lot of things I have out there as a help, as an inspiration.
Okay, and one of those, so please go and check the links, because there will be some link to some free stuff from Paula. So if you recognize yourself in that, and everything what we discuss, everything what you have shared, so go in and check the freebie in the link. And because, as you said, you've been through a burnout journey. There was a lot of resilience, and I really wanted to emphasize that. And is there anything that from the place where you are right now, you would say to younger Paula? If then, what would it be?
Yeah,
what would you say to yourself?
Okay, firstly, I want to make a little note. Looking back, it looks like I was very resilient, but I have to say, like, when you're in burnout, you do not have resilience. If you are in a bad situation, it's really hard you just do not have that inner resource. And you know, if you are in that situation, don't feel bad if you don't have resilience. I was not resilient. I was really falling apart, you know, surviving on I don't know, crackers and whatever. And
oh yes, yes. When you are in it, it doesn't feel like it.
Yes,
It is, because
yes,
you are taking life day by day. You cannot plan, you cannot make longer plans, you cannot just really thinking, okay, now I'm gonna have it under control. Because, for example, there was some point in my life and during the burnout, I was like, okay, so I think that if I feel great for 3-4 days, so it means that I'm getting better. And this like kind of well, I would say it was silly of me, but I just really wanted to have some kind of goals, which did not serve me back then. And then it's like taking day by day. Okay, today is like that. Tomorrow it's going to be different. And and I think that kind of, it is a certain type of resilience to go through that. So it's like, okay, you go and you keep on moving and keep on kind of bouncing back or bouncing forward from those situations. But when you are there, you feel shitty, you just see as like, okay, well, it's horrible. I feel how I feel, and oh my God, is it going to be forever? So it won't, but it's great to ask for help. But and yeah, look for people who've been through something similar, because those stories can be very inspiring, can be also very helpful.
Mm.
That was just a remark. And going
Yes.
back, yes, what
Okay.
would you say to yourself?
Yes. So I'd like to say two things really to the listeners as well. So one thing I would say to myself is what we already kind of covered is get help sooner. Don't wait until it's absolute, so a lot of people say like, oh, I'm not completely burnt out. Like I can sort of get out of that.
Oh, yes.
Don't wait until you're completely burned out, do get help. And I think everyone will agree, everyone in mental health space will tell you, you need to see people regularly. You need to take care of yourself regularly, be it friends or counselors, therapists, coaches. It's always good to see people regularly and get help often. And especially if you think that something is like a little bit not where I wanted to be, talk to somebody. And here is a second note I want to share. One of the biggest turning points actually for me personally was somewhere I read this concept about radical self-care. So it's a concept of I'll give you an example. So for example, if you are a parent and you have a kid and you need to absolutely need to go somewhere and take care of something, and you need somebody to take care of that kid for a couple of hours, a lot of us would do something like ask someone, can you please at least for 1-2 hours, I'll be really quick, I'll just do everything really quickly and take the kid back. But the radical self-care would be ask for the whole day, ask for the whole day. Imagine what would you do if you were to take the absolute best care of yourself. Imagine you were, what would you like to do to your friend who was in a difficult situation? Do the absolute best, ask for the whole day, take care of your errands, do something else, have some rest, have some me time, do the absolute maximum you can do for yourself. And I read that concept and I was, wow. And I still use it today, and it really helps me. And it takes a lot of bravery, because a lot of us are used to people pleasing. We're used to lowering our boundaries. We're used to trying to be comfortable to other people. But and sometimes it can be really hard to ask for these big things, but maybe start with small things then. What are the things today that I can do that would take the absolute best care of myself? And on that note, one thing I'd like to say, as part of my mission of what I do quite often, I just offer free consultations to people. And I'd like to invite all the listeners, if you are feeling like you are not sure where you are, you might be burnout or you are burnout, just book a call with me. It's free. We have 40-50 minutes. We talk about your situation. I point you in the right direction. And we'll see what happens, and maybe that will help you. Maybe that will put you somewhere in a better place. Maybe that is the best thing you can do for yourself right now.
Absolutely. And I love the concept of this. And I like to call them free of charge consultation, because still you need to show up for that consultation. You need to invest your money, invest your time and
energy.
invest energy. Exactly. So, and that goes again to what we said at the beginning, showing up for yourself, taking care of yourself, put yourself first on any to-do list, because if you're not functioning well, your life is not going to be as you expected. And also it has a huge impact on the environment you are in. And we're talking about the professional and also personal. And it's yes, and these consultations are free of charge. And if you feel it that might be something that can help you, go and use it, because it can be that conversation that might be a game changer in your life, or it can give you the aha moment, or redirect you in the right for the right goal, right decision. So definitely, if you feel like it, that you might need some help, go and book that conversation with Paula. Paula, I want to ask you the last question, because we touched so many things, and of course we can talk about for hours about it. We know,
Yeah.
and but what I really liked it about our conversation, that we are bringing that burnout to the surface. That it is burnout is it doesn't choose or discriminate any gender, any nationality, any position, right? Any any nationality. So it can happen to anyone in any time in your life, and if it's happening, it's the only thing you can do. You can take care of yourself and take an action, because no one else is coming there and save you. And it can be a game changer in your life, to just have a conversation with someone, and you're not alone. You see the faces of two people who went through burnout, to people who experience. And as Paula, you said, you've been in your lowest, I've been in my lowest, and we are no longer there because we asked for that manual. Somebody gave us, and we went through that, and we decided to change our lives and do something with that. And about that, doing something with what you went through, what is the legacy you wish to leave behind?
So I would say the same as I said before, neurodivergent wellness. I want really wellness for people who are, who are a bit different, who have a bit more challenges than maybe an average person. And I want to really contribute to that wellness movement for neurodivergent people that is really happening now and picking up. You see more and more people talking about how they're neurodivergent, how they went through many burnouts, how they built their lives, how it's possible to make the world a better place. So really, that's one thing I'd like to do. And yes, one of the ways that I am doing that is giving these free calls to people, and creating content and creating programs. And yeah, that's really what I want to see. I want to see more and more people thriving and giving hope as well to people who think that they are in a hard situation.
Paula, thank you so much for your time and for the work that you do for helping people, and actually bringing that self-awareness about about what is going on. And then it's like that you going through differently through burnout if you're a neurodivergent person, and maybe there is something to check for yourself if you're listening. So maybe go and check, like, that's something that it might be for me. And then contact Paula. You're gonna have a link to her pages, and also free stuff she prepared for you today. Watch her content on Insta, Facebook, read the blog, because there's a lot of interesting information. And Paula, I wish you that you're gonna go with your mission, and you're gonna achieve that, and it's gonna be a wellness for neurodivergent people, and you're gonna bring that ease, you're gonna bring that flow, and your impact will be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story, for taking your time and being with us. I hope to see you in the space of social media, and I'm sure that we're gonna talk, because the burnout is that topic that actually brought us together. And I think that this type of conversation are needed in the public space more and more.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here. It's been great. And just one last thing I want to say to the listeners is thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking care of yourself, and looking for ways to get better. You will get better. It's not your fault. And it's possible. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.